Samantha from Jessima Tutorials here, and today I'm going to show you how to create faux labradorite with polymer clay. Now, this technique involves black polymer clay, which I've got right here. It was rolled out on the thickest setting of my pasta machine, so about 2 millimeters thick, and we are going to be applying metal leaf and alcohol ink. Now, I have already shown how to create faux labradorite with colour shift powders, and now I'm going to show you a different way to create it. So you're going to need your metal leaf. In this case I would highly recommend using silver because it gives you a nice clean palette to start with, and then your alcohol inks can just kind of shine through. Now I'm just going to apply that to my black, just straight from the pamphlet. It's the easiest way to do it. Making sure there's no air bubbles. Alright, and then trim away the extra leaf. And I've got this on a tile already that I don't have to lift the clay from. I can just pop it straight in the oven. That is kind of important because I want the metal leaf to be as uncrackled as possible, because the less crackles it has, the more of a really sharp, shiny surface it has. And I'm going to bring over some labradorite that I have to show you. Just making sure I don't have metal leaf hanging around. There we go. Alright, and let me just bring over the real piece. Let me see if I can catch that flash. It's got a really nice, smooth, clean shine to it. So I need that shine from the metal leaf, but I don't want it to have cracks all in it. And here is another example piece. So first thing I want to say is just feel free to use any colours that you want. Labradorite comes in many different colours. I'm going to be going with a blue-yellow colour today, but you can go purple as well if you want. The main colour is going to be this one. You want a really strong blue to start with. Then I'm also going to have a soft accent blue. You don't have to have this one. You could swap it out or leave it out entirely if you want. And then I'm going to be using a yellow. You want a really nice warm yellow. Okay, and those are the colours that I'm going to be using. Open those away from your metal leaf. Okay, and the colours do not have to be those exact ones. You can use any colours that you want. These are just the ones that I'm going to use because I think they work the best. And I'm going to start with my main colour, which is this blue, and I'm just going to drop it and I'm going to allow it to bloom naturally. And start off with less ink because as you can see it spreads quite far, and a lot of the time you can underestimate how far it will spread. So allow that ink to spread and just leave it to dry. So I would give it probably at least 60 seconds, and then I'm going to move on to the yellow. Okay, and that is pretty much dried, and it might look dull right now, but that's just because I can't catch the leaf. You can see there how it will start to catch a really nice shine. So if it looks dull from this top view, don't worry, it's going to show through nicely when this is done. Right, then you're going to grab your yellow, and I want you to be very sparing with this. As you can see, it spreads very quickly, and the yellow is supposed to be a very light accent colour, so try not to pop down too much of it. If you feel like you have, grab something and just dip it in the middle of the drop to soak up extra parts of that colour, and just let it naturally blend together. I'm going to drop another little bit down here, and I'm actually going to drip a bit over here too. Alright, and then I'm just going to leave that to dry as well. This one I am actually going to leave the camera on for a second because I'm waiting for that to spread out a little, and then I'm going to soak that up because that is going to form a green colour. And I'm actually going to use this to blend the colour a little bit, like so. Swap to a different spot on your baby wipe, and then repeat with any of the others that have touched, like over here. Take that and just stipple it around, and that will blend your colour together. and you want to do that while the ink is still wet. Okay, and that should just about do. And if you want to add any more yellow, you can. I'm quite happy with that. I don't want too much yellow. Then I'm going to take this kind of pool blue color and I'm going to pop that around. And that's quite a soft color, so that should not overtake any of the others. And just allow that to spread. And if it starts taking the yellow over like it is right now, again, go in with this and just tap it. And that's why you want to allow the colors to dry in between uses, because it means that you can control them a little more and they're not all going to get picked up when you go in to dab them dry. And just allow the colors to naturally blend from your baby wipe out into one another, because that will add some extra flair to the piece. Alright, and I do want a little more yellow, so I'm going to pop that down over here and just let that spread naturally on its own. Okay, and again, make sure you blend that out. Add a little more yellow there. And the yellow, if you look at the Labradorite, generally is kind of an interesting pattern. It doesn't blend perfectly. It will have like little green borders around it, but it's nothing too blended. So go in and have fun with this. The alcohol ink's perfect to create that kind of pattern. Right, and then just continue messing with that essentially until you are happy with the result. You can get the inks to move around quite a bit. Okay, and there we go. I also ended up taking a little bit of that light blue color and adding it to the darker blue. So if I shift this around, you can see a little more of what that pattern looks like. And that's what it's going to look like when we put the resin on. It's going to have dark spots, but then it's going to have really light spots. So anyway, you want to make sure that that is completely dry before you move on to adding the translucent, which we'll do in a second, because the alcohol ink leaches into the translucent. So as soon as the translucent goes on, we're going to have to move quickly. Don't burnish it, don't apply any paper to it, because if you do, it will lift up the metal leaf because it will stick. So don't be going and burnishing anything at this point in time. Then, let me just bring over my blade. I do want to create some pattern. So I'm going to take my blade and I'm just going to stipple across the surface like so. And don't worry about getting it nice and even. You just want to, in some areas, and you don't even need to press that hard, it just needs to be enough that it's going to catch the light later on. And then you can just go in and you could even swap direction and just stipple some other areas, not all of them. And make sure you clean your blade a little bit in between these. And to get some areas and not all of them, you can tip your blade in different directions so that it just catches a little bit, like so. Okay, and that's going to add just a little bit of interest. So just make sure you do that. Alright, oops, I do apologize for that. Alright, and this should be just about dry. I'm fairly confident in that. So you then want to roll out a piece of translucent as thin as physically possible. There's no such thing as too thin. And I've got that over here. You want to do that nice and fresh because then it's soft and easy to apply. And then stretch that down over the surface, smoothing it so that you remove the air bubbles, like so. And you can see there, ideally you want to be able to see the pattern straight through the translucent. So the thinnest setting of your pasta machine is ideal. If you can't get that, you can actually sandwich the translucent between two pieces of paper and roll it through, and that will prevent ripples. That's one way that you could do it to get it as thin as possible. Alright, and at this point you're safe to start using things like pieces of paper to burnish, which you do actually want to do because you want that translucent to stick to your layer of clay. And you want to remove air bubbles, so very important to do that. And lift that up. Alright, and I don't want to do anything to disturb this because I'm very happy with how it looks. At this point you're going to grab your cutters of choice, and I'm using these ones, and position it so that you're going to get a nice pattern. You want to make sure that you have at least a little bit of yellow in each pattern. I think I'm actually going to pop this one here. Okay, and just place them both down. Okay, and cut. And again, I've got it on a piece, on a tile, so I don't have to fuss with them at all. It's literally just going to be cut them out and lift away the extra clay. Alright, and I'm going to see if I can get another piece. I might actually need to swap to a different pair of cutters. Okay, and I did manage to get 2 more pieces. Then you want to just lift all that extra clay out of the way. This is great scrap, by the way. You can press that all together into kind of a messy mosaic, and it won't look like Labradorite anymore, but it will be quite stunning. So I highly recommend doing that if you want to use that scrap for something. And just make sure you move all of that translucent. Okay, like so, and then you're going to pop that straight into the oven, and you want to work fairly quickly because again that translucent is going to be sitting and soaking that alcohol ink up. Bake that for a full hour at Primo's recommended temperature, which is the clay that I am using, and then we'll see the results when they're out. Okay, and here they are out of the oven. I've just got them on a little silicone mat ready to resin. You can of course pop varnish on this, but I find the resin looks the best. Also, if you need to sand the sides at all, do that before adding the resin, but that's all pretty much done, so I don't really need to sand the sides. There's a little bit here. There you go. But yeah, just in general, all good. Also, if you do decide to sand it, especially if you do it with water involved, like wet sanding, then make sure that you dry the pieces off completely. I actually put them in the oven for about 5 minutes to make sure that there's no moisture on the surface, because that causes resin to bubble. Right, and this is the UV resin that I'm going to use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to pop that on the surface. And when using resin, you want to use a small amount. You don't need a lot. The more you use, the more there is a risk that it will fall off the edge. So start off with a tiny amount. That should just about do. Then just spread that resin out to the corners. And you can see how that clears the image up perfectly. I'm not sure how well you can see it from the angle the camera is at the moment, but once these have cured, I will definitely show you what they look like, because they're going to have quite the flash to them. There we go. And just pull those out to the edges. You really don't need a lot. You can see how that covered the whole surface. Then cover the other ones as well, and then when that's done, you're going to pop that under a UV light for about 15 minutes to make sure that it's completely cured. Okay, and here is what it looks like out of the UV light, and you can see there how much of a flash it's got now, and it's really nice when it catches the sunlight. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to assemble this. And for that, I'm going to grab a little pin drill, and I'm going to position that where I want the top of my piece to be, and I'm just going to drill. And don't apply too much pressure, just drill straight down, like so, There we go, it shouldn't take too long. And then just pop through the other side. And just go through again just to make sure that that hole is nice and clear. Okay, then grab a jump ring and a ear wire and open up that jump ring and pop that through. And this piece is a little thick, so I need a big jump ring. And I'm just getting that through. It's like just big enough. There we go. There we go. And then pop the ear wire on. Let me just check something. Yes, there we go. Just want to make sure I have it the right way. And close the jump ring. Okay, and then I'll just spin that around a little bit so that the closed side is a little closer to the back. But yeah, there we go. Alright, and I have done the other ones as well, so you can see there how they look. Really quite nice. And here are the other two. I popped the jump ring on the other end so you can see how those look. But yeah, you can see how they catch the light really nicely. And let me bring over a piece of Labradorite. This one I went for one that has a little less of the blue. You can see the colour matches quite nicely. And I'll bring over the other piece as well, and you can see how that looks. Let me just catch the light quickly. There we go. You can see there. This one has more green than the pieces that I have. But yeah. Let me know in the comments below what you think. How close did I get? And if you have any questions, leave them there as well, and I will get to them as soon as possible. And if you haven't watched my previous Faux Labradorite tutorial, don't forget to check that out, as I show how to make this but with mica powders. So definitely check that out. But yeah, I do hope that you enjoyed. If you'd like to support the channel so I can continue creating videos just like this one, please do consider becoming a member. There is a join button just below this video, or there is a link to my Patreon account. Both are one and the same. The link is in the description below, and that's where I will post more complex tutorials in regards to polymer clay. And it's also just a great way to support the channel and is greatly appreciated. And if you like the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing, as I do videos just about every single day, and I'm sure you won't want to miss a single one. Also, if you have suggestions for future videos, leave them in the description below or the comments below, and I will probably turn them into a tutorial. But yeah, that's just about it. I do hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.